doing well and doing good. You've probably heard those phrases 1,000 times, right? But what if I told you that in today's world, the line between them is, well, it's pretty much disappeared. Stick with me here, because we're about to dive into how this changes everything you thought you knew about success.
So let's get right to it. Are these two totally different things? For the longest time, the answer was a definite yes. You had to pick a lane. Were you going to chase wealth, or were you going to dedicate yourself to service? But is that really how it works anymore? Let's take a look.
Okay, so to really understand this big shift, we've got to go back in time a little bit. We need to look at the old rules, the traditional way of thinking that most of us were taught.
Think back to school for a second. Your classic English teacher's perspective probably laid it out like this. You could either do well for yourself, be successful, or you could do good in the world. It was always presented as a choice, right? An either-or situation.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got doing well. That was all about your personal scorecard. Your health, your bank account, how happy you felt. Then on the other side, doing good. That was all about everybody else. The charitable work you did, your contribution to the world. Totally separate buckets, totally different goals, right? So doing well was completely focused inward. It was about you, your personal goals, your financial security, your contentment. It was kind of like an inside job measured by what you managed to build up for yourself. And then there's doing good. That was the complete opposite. It was all external. It was what you did for other people. And here's the kicker. It was often seen as a trade-off. Like doing good might actually cost you something, maybe even get in the way of your own personal success. But, and this is a big but, this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. That old school way of thinking, it's starting to crumble. And it's all thanks to a whole new generation of entrepreneurs and leaders who are just, well, they're tearing up the old rule book. And this quote right here, this is a total game changer. It really captures this pivotal moment where doing well and doing good stop being separate ideas. They're not just connected anymore. For a lot of successful people, they're becoming interchangeable. Think about that. Interchangeable. Now, this is way more than just playing with words. What we're actually seeing is a fundamental shift, a whole new philosophy for what success even means in the 21st century. It's this great convergence of personal ambition and positive impact. So this is the new model, the new math, if you will. Doing well equals doing good. They're not fighting against each other anymore. Instead, they're like two sides of the same coin. In fact, it gets even better. One actually starts to fuel the other. Okay, so what does this look like in the real world? Well, for one, it means that if you look around, a lot of the most successful and innovative companies out there are the ones that are also having a massive positive impact. And it's not just about business. On a personal level, it means that our own sense of well-being, our own happiness is actually connected to feeling like we're contributing something meaningful. All right, so let's bring this back to you. How does this apply to your life? Because this isn't just some high-level theory for Silicon Valley billionaires. Nope. This is a real, practical framework that anyone can use, starting right now in whatever it is you do. Look, the bottom line is this. We've moved past this just being a nice idea. It's the new goal. It's totally achievable. The challenge isn't about picking one or the other anymore, success or service. The real challenge now is to figure out how to build a life where you can have both. So I want to leave you with a question that really changes the game. See, it's not about finding a balance between these two things anymore. It's about integration. The real question is, how are you going to build a career or a project or even a life where doing good becomes the very engine that drives you to do well? That's the new definition of success. So, what's your story going to be?